Welcome everyone to today's explainer. Today, we're taking what might honestly look like a dense, dry, standard operating procedure document, and we're going to unpack it to reveal a pretty fascinating story of massive infrastructural change. We're looking directly at the new Solid Waste Management Rules, or SWM 2026, mandated for the Indian Railways. You know, this really isn't just about taking out the trash. It's a monumental environmental undertaking that completely rewrites how one of the world's largest transport networks handles its ecological footprint. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for the explainer. First, a massive cleanup mandate. Second, the new accountability rules. Third, 4 streams of segregation. And fourth, the non-negotiable zero discharge.
Section 1, a massive cleanup mandate and grasping the sheer scale of it all.
To truly appreciate the importance of this new procedure, we first have to grasp the sheer, mind-boggling scale of the Indian Railways. We literally need to stop thinking of it as just trains on tracks and start viewing it as a sprawling, moving city. The railway isn't just a transport system. It is a massive generator of waste serving millions of people every single day. We're talking about railway stations of all categories: the tracks, adjacent land parcels, sidings, workshops, catering units, production units, railway colonies, and administrative offices. The environmental impact of a network this size is staggering, which is exactly why the Central Pollution Control Board issued a very specific mandate. This brings us to a defining statement from Satish Kumar, the chairman and CEO of the Railway Board. He stated, "Indian Railways is not only one of the largest public transport systems in the world, ensuring cleanliness and responsible waste management across this vast system is therefore both a fundamental duty and a reflection of our collective values." This is so crucial because it frames this initiative not just as a bureaucratic box-checking exercise, but as a real philosophical shift in public administration. And this transformation becomes an enforceable reality starting April 1, 2026.
Now, you might be wondering, how does the government actually enforce this? Well, we need to break down a key bureaucratic term: bulk waste generator, or BWG. Under the SWM Rules 2026, the Indian Railways fall squarely into this category. Because they generate such massive quantities of waste, they're legally on the hook now as a major polluter if they don't comply. Under the Polluter Pays Principle, failing to meet these obligations will attract significant environmental compensation penalties.
Moving right along to Section 2, the new accountability rules. It is all about verifiable compliance.
So how exactly does the government plan to enforce this ambitious new framework across such a decentralized organization? Under the old SWM 2016 rules, the system essentially relied on weak self-declarations. It was basically an honor system. But the new system for 2026 introduces Extended Bulk Waste Generator Responsibility, or EBWGR. This is a massive paradigm shift to a verifiable, certificate-backed compliance architecture. The days of simply saying, "Hey, we cleaned it up," are totally over. Now they actually have to prove it with certified data. And who's responsible for proving it? That falls on the zonal railway general managers, who are now designated as the chief compliance authorities for their zones. And let me tell you, the deadlines are exceptionally tight. They must designate a nodal officer within 15 days of this SOP. They have to submit comprehensive divisional action plans in just 60 days. Any infrastructure gaps, like needing new recycling units or composting pits, must be completely fulfilled within 6 to 9 months. Plus, they have to register on the central CPCB portal and conduct quarterly audits. It is a highly aggressive, deeply accountable timeline.
Section 3, 4 streams of segregation, which is the operational fix on the ground.
So how does all this high-level policy translate to the actual passenger experience? It translates into a brand new visual reality at the stations. The rules mandate a strict 4-stream waste segregation right at the source. This means waste absolutely must be separated into wet, dry, sanitary, and special care categories. Every single passenger, staff member, and vendor will have to adapt to throwing their waste into the correct stream so it can be processed effectively, rather than just dumping it into a massive, unsorted landfill.
And this strict segregation doesn't just apply to the station platforms, right? It extends right onto the moving trains. Onboard waste collection requires strict stream integrity. The rules explicitly state that public transport entities are legally mandated to ensure solid waste is not littered during transportation. The journey of a single piece of waste generated on a train is now heavily regulated.
Let's walk through the exact chain of custody that makes this work. Once a train pulls into a station, it kicks off a foolproof protocol. Step 1, the onboard housekeeping supervisor must physically sign a handover register confirming they're transferring the waste from the rake.
Step 2, the waste handling point in charge then transfers this waste to the central backend using covered trolleys, ensuring that the streams never get mixed up. Step 3, all of this data is logged into a digital register by the station coordinator by the end of the day. It's a completely transparent, digitally tracked relay race from the train coach straight to the processing plant.
Finally, Section 4, the non-negotiable zero discharge. This is where strict enforcement comes in. This high level of tracking naturally leads to some pretty severe penalties, and I want to deliver this with the dramatic weight it deserves, just as it appears in the policy document. Non-negotiable rule: zero discharge on tracks. Throwing, discarding, or leaving any waste, whether it's wet, dry, or sanitary, on railway tracks, platform beds, or storm drains is completely and strictly prohibited. The era of waste simply falling onto the tracks as a train speeds by is officially being engineered out of existence. So the crucial point here is how they actually enforce this zero-tolerance mandate. It's not just a polite guideline. Compliance will be a mandatory condition in all tender documents, licenses, and commercial agreements starting April 1, 2026. If a contractor or a catering vendor violates these rules, it is grounds for immediate license cancellation or contract termination. They will literally lose their business. Furthermore, official beverage suppliers and brand owners at railway venues are now required to manage their product packaging waste under extended producer responsibility obligations. If you sell it on the railway, you are responsible for its entire life cycle.
This intense level of accountability leads directly to tangible, real-world action on the ground. To maintain this zero-discharge mandate, we're going to see a significant upgrade in mechanical cleaning operations. You'll see more of these specialized scrubber machines and dedicated cleaning crews actively working the platforms, just ensuring that not a single piece of litter makes its way onto the tracks or slips through the cracks of that new four-stream system.
And that brilliantly illustrates the massive shift we're looking at. The Indian Railways, an absolute behemoth of a public institution, is fundamentally upgrading its operations to transition towards zero waste. They're instituting digital tracking, they're ready to fire non-compliant vendors, and they're overhauling their entire infrastructure to protect the environment. Which leaves us with one final, provocative question to wrap up this explainer. If this massive system can upgrade its habits to achieve zero waste, are you ready to upgrade yours the next time you travel? Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this deeper look gives you a whole new appreciation the next time you step onto a platform. Keep learning and keep asking questions.